Time has gone 12 minutes after the hour 6 o'clock, and it's a very good evening to you. Welcome to it. This is another broadcast and brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS, together with the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. My name is Karabolans. Glad to be with you all the way up until 7 o'clock this evening, and it's going to be a very interesting evening. We're going to be talking about a topic that's very close to my heart, and you should see all the colleagues that are here. Every time we talk about this topic, they all gather around and they want to come and observe what's happening in the studio, because I get very personal about it. So it's happening again this evening, and I'm looking forward to it. Joining me in the studio to help me just navigate myself around and help yourself as well navigate yourself around this issue is none other than Papgeld, the lady herself. All right. It's the Senior Legal Administration Officer at the Office of the Family Advocate, and her name is Josephine Peta. Josephine is somebody that you know very well. She's been here a couple of times, and she's joining us again. It's a very good evening to you, Josephine.
Good evening, Abuti Karawa, and then good evening to the listeners as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, if you want to be in touch with us, you're more than welcome to call us on our toll-free number. It's 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. It's a toll-free number if you're going to be calling from a landline. Otherwise, if you're calling from a cell phone, call us in. We'll take your details down and we'll call you back, in that way saving you costs. Otherwise, we're available on social media as well. And social media on the Facebook is the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. If you want to get a hold of us on Twitter, it's DOJCD_ZA. That's DOJCD_ZA. And we'll be happy to engage with you. You can speak in any language of your choice. Ungakhuluma isiZulu, ungathetha isiXhosa, ungabulabula Shangane, ungamachivenda, kabulela Sepedi, kabulela Setswana. You're more than welcome to express yourself in any language of your choice. Let's not waste any further time. Let's get right straight into our conversation for this evening, one that I'm looking forward to, and I would like to encourage you to please take part in this in this conversation. We're talking about maintenance, what to do when maintenance is defaulted, and this could be a double barrel question, Josephine, by the way. What to do when the maintenance is default? I'm actually laughing because, when I'm watching you on TV, I knew this day would come. And I've got a book here with me. Every time you're on TV, I had a book that I was writing questions. So we're going to be exploring there. So here it is. First and foremost, let's talk about maintenance. What is maintenance? For those who don't understand what maintenance is exactly.
Okay. Firstly, I like this question because people will get to be educated today. Maintenance is firstly an obligation, to provide someone or to provide a person with the means reasonably necessary to enable that person to acquire, necessities such as housing, such as clothing, food, education, medical care, and all that. However, we need to distinguish, this maintenance from various types of maintenance. Right. The one that I gave is just an overarching definition. However, we have three different types of maintenance. Mm-hmm. Number one, we have child maintenance, which is the biggest priority of the Department of Justice. Okay. Number two, we've got spousal maintenance. Mm-hmm. And the last one, we have what we call reciprocal maintenance. Ooh,
okay. All right. Reciprocal maintenance. Yes. I think let's start with that. What is reciprocal maintenance?
Reciprocity, where we have duties towards each other to pay each other maintenance. Remember, did you know that our parents can actually claim maintenance from us?
What do you mean?
They can if they have no reasonable means to support themselves, and that we call that reciprocal maintenance. It's the same thing where grandchildren can also claim from the grandparents whenever the parents are not even working. So that's what we call reciprocity, where we have a mutual duty towards each other. So that is another type of maintenance that I know it has never been spoken before, but today I'm raising it because I want to make sure that we need to actually dwell on this issue and unpack it properly. But the one that I'm very much interested about, looking at the struggles which women are facing, is actually child maintenance. Mm-hmm. However, in my opening remarks about that, I want to just start by saying that raising a child is no walk in the park.
Okay.
It requires substantial support system. And that's where I invite to say, child maintenance is actually a joint common law duty, joint for both parents to maintain their children in accordance with their respective means. Because I hear like many people will say, yeah, a father is liable. No, mama, you are equally liable to pay maintenance.
Okay, but that's
it's a duty.
I'm glad you're here. And now now we're going to start talking. Look, and this is what I've always wanted to ask you. For some reason, I never got to ask you this in the way that I'm going to ask you. Always, every time when you're here and you go away, I would always drive you back home thinking, man, here's the thing about what you just said now. When does one pay maintenance? Let's start there. You pay maintenance when who said what?
You know what? Firstly, maintenance is a common law duty of both parents. As soon as the child is born, that duty arises for both of you as the parents of the child.
Okay, but that it doesn't have any legal. It's not influenced by legal yet. If you know what I'm saying.
Yes. Common law, not by legal yet. Because remember now, the Maintenance Act only kicks in when we are giving each other trouble, which is what we as parents like doing. Yeah. We like being habitual. We like having this hostile mindset towards paying maintenance. Mm-hmm. I'm going to actually get liar. Maintenance, but people do not know that actually has a negative impact on the child and not on the other, like the actual recipient of the maintenance, which is necessarily a caregiver. Right. And that's the reason why today I just want to unpack things to say the people who can actually claim maintenance are, number one, the caregivers of the children. Remember, we need to look at the social context of South African families. Most of us were raised by grandparents. Now it says can my mother who is working in Johannesburg claim maintenance for me when I'm staying in Limpopo with my grandparent? They can't. It's actually my grandparent who must stand up and go to the court and claim maintenance against both my parents. Okay. There is this social issue where you find women giving birth to children and then walking away from the children and then going to have a fight in the courts with the you cannot be doing that. It is firstly caregivers, and caregivers can be biological parents, it can be the aunts, it can be whoever is having the necessary care of the child. And secondly, maintenance can also be claimed as between the spouses, and that's what we call spousal maintenance, where you are able to prove that Karabo accustomed me to this particular lifestyle. He's now going away, and then I'm no longer going to drive that machine. So therefore, I want to be. I
still want to drive that machine.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, now. Okay, let's open those telephone lines quickly. 0800 142 446, 0800 142 446. It's August, it's Women's Month, and government is urging all South Africans to really play their part in terms of the protection of women and children. And some of the stories that we've heard about women abuse, and some of these stories. I heard a story last week of somebody saying they've experienced not necessarily a murder taking place, but they know of a couple that eventually the lady was murdered. And when they were narrating the story, it comes from issues of maintenance. And I'm suspecting, though he did not say, but I'm suspecting the issue spousal maintenance, as you put it. Issue big driver that German machine. And now I'm not driving it anymore because he's left me. And I still want to maintain that lifestyle.
Exactly.
How fair is that? Is that fair to say that?
For me, it's fair. It's fair.
Can you really?
We have been married. I always say, and that is one of my biggest argument. My argument is that we as people, we don't like reading. We don't like finding out and investigating and finding out about issues. There are various matrimonial, property regimes in South Africa. You can either be married in community of property, or you can be married out of community of property with or without accrual. Now, if Okarabo, you've got all these millions, and then you say to me, "Oh, baby, will you marry me?" And then you don't even consider those things. I walk into the marriage with zero, and you've got your millions, and then we don't sign any anti-mutual contract. Whatever you brought in and whatever you're still going to make is equally mine, 50-50, and you can't run away from that. So if I walk away and then I'll say, this person has said to me I must not work. They said to me I must stop everything and then I must stay home. And this is how much there were many court decisions where people get knocked down because of such things. people were able to prove that this person has accustomed me to this particular lifestyle. Now they are going, now I need them to be maintained. And the court will then determine a time period within which maintenance must be paid, and at what stage must it then stop being paid. And in most cases, it was when a person, either when they remarry or when they're able to get their own means, when they get back on their feet or when they die.
Doesn't the whole issue of I'm going to spite you come from that, actually? Because look, somebody can just decide not to go and work just to spite you, just to make sure that you're paying for them every month. Or I don't even want to use the word paying for them, just to make sure that you're really funding them. I don't know which word.
What is good about that is because of it's ordinarily governed by Rule 43 of the rules of the Supreme Court. The good thing about that is that it is judged by case by case. You have to present your case and prove that you actually contributed, either passively or actively towards this particular estate. But you cannot just
yeah, but okay, you've mentioned issue mostly is when a guy would have said to the lady, no, stop working.
Yes, stop working and then stay at home, be a stay-home mom.
But now, in instances where a guy has not said that, did not say that in the first place, maybe the lady is working, they're both working, but now the separation, whose problem is it going to be? Who's going to have to pay maintenance? Because to start with, what happens
if
then?
he or she left their employment by their own accord, then they cannot blame the other party. Remember, here it's all about taking responsibility. What I was actually saying was that we need to take responsibility. Our decisions that we take prior to entering into the marriage, they may come and impact on us. But remember, you cannot just be passive and then sit and then not contribute towards the estate. There are people who may be retrenched. There are people who may be told by the partner to say, I can pay your salary 5 times. So why are you stressing? Stay home and raise children. And those things can raise consequences later. But at the end of the day, take responsibility and say, how did you contribute to this person becoming like this? That is a fact.
Okay. This one 0800 142 446 0800 142 446. We're going to be taking your calls now shortly, and please, if you do have any questions to ask, you're more than welcome to call us on that number. Otherwise, we're available on Facebook and Twitter. You can send your questions there and your comments there as well. On Facebook, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, and on Twitter, it's DOJCD_ZA. That's DOJCD_ZA. Can you go pakanyana? I don't believe the most important one, seeing that it's Women's Month, and one of the things that's being encouraged in Women's Month, it's actually we're extending it to say, let's take care of our children.
Yes.
I don't believe child maintenance. Can you go a bit more time? So about child maintenance. Well, child maintenance, you said joint common law, right?
Yes, common law duty,
yes. Things are fine now. There's no problem. Both you and I will contribute towards the upbringing of the child. Now, when does it get sour?
It always gets sour when people separate. We know that separation or divorce or breakup is never a mutual issue. When we want to break up, I know the other person, is ready to move on, the other one is not ready to move on. Mm-hmm. And then they start now using this child as a bargaining pawn to say, mm-hmm. But people should not despair, because there are remedies in law. But firstly, remember, these remedies will not just come automatically. Mm-hmm. Firstly, you must approach your local magistrate court, where there is a maintenance court, and then go and make an application. You go there with the birth certificate of the child, your ID, your proof of address. You go there with a list of the needs of the child, your income and expenditure, as well as your bank statement, and then go and open a case against a defaulter. And a defaulter can either be a mom or a dad. Mm-hmm. Let us stop stereotyping and say there are, it's only daddies who are not paying maintenance. I've seen women who don't pay maintenance, and that is a fact. There are women who have walked out on their children and they're not contributing towards their children's upbringing. Go and make that application, and then once the court order is granted and it remains unsatisfied, then you're entitled to go back to the court again and say to the court, this person has not paid the maintenance in terms of the court order. please, I need to take, civil remedies. But remember that by not obeying that court order, it's automatically a criminal offense. And it can get you to go to jail for a period of 3 years with no option of a fine. Secondly, they can issue a garnishee order against your salary. And remember, once you have a garnishee order, then it means you are blacklisted. It means you have this big watermark on your salary slip. It's a garnishee order. It stays there. And I've had many people crying because they do not understand the consequences of a garnishee order, but that is a topic for another day. Number 2, you can apply for a warrant of execution against movable property. And this one, I want to talk about it because there was a recent Constitutional Court judgment where a father's house was declared specially executable to go and be sold to pay area maintenance. So people, be very careful. You could be thinking that you are sitting in your glass house. That glass house can be sold, because in terms of that warrant of execution, the sheriff is going to be requested or directed to go and attach first the movables, give the TV, give the and then when it does not satisfy the maintenance amount, then we move and then we go towards the house. That is the immovable assets. Number 3, you can apply for attachment of a debt where you find that you've got some pension accruing or some provident funds or some monies in the bank that can be attached to satisfy the maintenance debt. But those remedies, they are not in the chronological order in terms of the act. You can choose which one. The applicant, the maintenance beneficiary. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They are not in chronological order. They are not.
No, but why ungaskhetela? I mean, what will inform you to say, no, don't worry about the movables. No, let's go for the house.
No, we don't go for the house first. The rules of warrant of attachments, you start first with the movables.
Right.
Then once it does not satisfy that judgment debt, then you move to the immovables. You must first finish this one first and then move to the second leg. And what I've seen that people are making mistake at a point is that many mothers prefer the criminal route. They prefer to see the fathers in jail. That I have picked up. And then mabaqeda sebazozakithi then bayakhala. But now the criminal case is not being finalized. But then we are forgetting hore inside the Maintenance Act 99 of 1998, certain rules are not restated. It is not written there, when a person is arrested, they're entitled to rights in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution. They're entitled to get their attorney. They can, and a person can actually extend, like your torture and your pain within the criminal section whilst we're waiting for the civil section. So be very careful. Rather go for the civil remedy, because there you may get the money. The chances of you getting the money are very high. But the chances of getting a father arrested have, like so many social consequences. Firstly, he may lose his job. That is number 1. Because of it will depend on how the court is going to view him. Maybe he's a habitual defaulter or whatever it is. Depending on the circumstances, he may lose his job. Then you may never get your money again. So people must be very careful. Go for the civil route. I've received numerous complaints where people are saying, I'm stuck in the criminal court. The prosecutor here is not helping me and whatever. But they're forgetting that they should have gone the civil route. Go to the end, ask. People must ask questions at the maintenance court. Don't get there and say, I want to attach his house. Ask and say, this person has not complied with the court order. What can I do? Then then you say, I need to speak to the maintenance officer to provide me with guidance of what I can do next. And they'll provide you with that information. Then you choose amongst those 3.
0800 142 446. Let me take those callers quickly. We'll take Zakele, calling all the way from Kanyamazane. Zix? Zakele?
Yes, hello.
Sabona mfethu kunjani?
Isiyaphila njani?
Ngiyaphila, umbuzo wakho uthini?
On air.
You are on air, sir.
Okay. Bengibuza ukuthi i-maintenance isebenza kanjani uma ngabe maka wakami uhola imali leningi nami, and then mina ngihola imali lencane, so ngithi collect leningi and then ngidemanda imali leningi, so bese isebenza kanjani nathi kufika lapho?
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Zakele Ngiyabulela mfethu. Let's go to Partco all the way from Aliwal North. Partco Aliwal North.
Indade waphela.
Kuyaphela kanjani?
Lina kuyaphila. Argument so mama Jega no lena ngamdumelisa.
Ntate.
Buzo wami wokuqala nangu. Benifuna ukuqonda mama ne ukuba kwixesha elininzi iyatsala imali maintenance ne iappear ku payslip. After iappear ku payslip, the meantime usiya ku office maintenance kuthiwa imali ayikho. And then those people baku front desk and then bani attitude azokuxelela ukuba xa ingekho thina sithini ubumbona payslip nansi imali kuthiwa ingenile kodwa ke ngokuxa kumele ukuthi ngiyifumane imali ayikho. I-question yami yokuqala leyo. I-question yami yesibini, I think it was last year kwakuthiwa mos imali kumele kuyitransfer through i-bank and then ufumane ukuthi some of the rural areas abantu abana access from ebhankini in order ukuthi akwazi ukufumana le mali e-maintenance. Umzambi uzosuka from the estate spread kwezinye zelali masithi emajuba funeke eze town and then spend imali kwakhona ufuna lo mali e-maintenance ayikho. Ingaba into ezinjalo ke ngoku izasombulula njani i-department? Hence apha eAlbany kwathiwa still bane problem for i-system yabo since ngoku at least I think it was last month apho khona ifumana ukuthi into ezabe khona siqala usebenza kakhe abantu beyifumana ebhenki imali yabo. And then eyokugqibela ifuna uqonda ukuba uhlala nomama apha endlini. Ngelixa uhlala nomama apha endlini uthenga zonke izinto ezalapha endlini usupporta umntana lo ulapha endlini. At the same time umama ukufake kwi-support, you pay i-support yalo mntana. Ingabe into enjalo ilungiswa njani? Ndiyabulela kakhulu ngizomamela kuTakalani Radio.
Thank you so much, Partco from Takalani Community Radio Station in Eliwal North in the Eastern Cape. I'll take the last one being Sebastian. Sebastian, good evening to you, sir. Sebastian?
Yes.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you doing, Garabo?
I'm good in yourself, sir.
No, excellent, man. Excellent. Good to hear your voice after a while, man.
Yeah.
Excellent, man. And good evening to the advocate right there, Petunia. Good evening to you as well. And thank you for the opportunity. I've got one question, though. What do you do if you're in a situation where the tables are turned right now, that normally it's the woman that's going for maintenance and all that, and the guy that got custody now, in a case where the guy's got custody, and the mother is still around working, but she does not want to do anything about the child. But when you approach her, right, and then you say, okay, you're going to go to the authorities now and do something about it, then she doesn't work anymore. Then what do you do in a situation like that?
All right. Thank you so much, Sebastian. Really appreciate it. 26 minutes before 7, 0800 142 446. Thank you so much, Simona. I see those questions coming through via emails, Twitter, and Facebook. I really appreciate it. I'll take those. Let's just finish with this batch of questions quickly. Maybe let's start with Zakele, wanting to know, what if my ex-partner earns a little bit more than I do? And then they go and... let me not add my own interpretation. Let's stick to what Sakele say. All right. What if my partner or my ex-partner earns a little bit more than I do? In that case, who should pay maintenance?
The both of them still, because remember we spoke about that joint liability of both parents, meaning that both of them must contribute jointly. So whatever shares they must contribute to the maintenance of the child is apportioned proportionately in accordance with their reasonable means. Remember that when I'm saying proportionately, remember umama can earn more than ubaba, but you might find ukuthi her obligations are more than the papa. So what happens is that in the maintenance court, the maintenance officer is going to consider all the facts. They're going to look at the expenditure statement of mama and the income, as well as your papa, as well as the needs of the child, and then say according to all the facts here, then this child is entitled to maintenance of 1,900. However, because of these circumstances, Papa will have to pay, will have to contribute 1,000, and then contributing 900, and then one will be surprised of how, but she earns more than me. But then we look at whatever documents you submitted as proof of your income and expenditure.
Issue. Okay, all right. Okay, I see that. All right, let's go to Partco. Partco says, what if my maintenance is being deducted, or the child's maintenance is being deducted from my pay slip, and on the pay slip you can see that there is a deduction of that. But however, when the guardian wants to go and access the funds, they're being told they cannot. The funds are untraceable. They cannot see the funds, but yet on the payslip it shows that the money was deducted.
Okay, what people should remember is that the department introduced the maintenance strategy, in terms of which it introduced various methods in terms of which one can access monies. Now, we are very much aware of that. Remember, when your employer deducts the money, it has to go through certain systems and channels to then get to our system, where we then balance our books first before we pay out. But remember, that is the internal processes of the Department of Justice. But then I would firstly encourage Hore, you rather utilize the EFT method or the direct payment method, because the Act does allow for that. Many clients who have posed this question, I've advised them to rather go for the direct method or the EFT.
The direct
on
method
the basis
being
yes, or we localize inside the bank account,
okay,
or to do the EFT. But remember, this is on the foundation of the court order. So muta askacho or no, no, still get the court order and then still say in the court order that I'll prefer for them to pay directly to me in the following bank account, rather than to say pay into the court account, which then takes longer because it must still clear in accordance with the internal processes and everything before it can then go to the recipient. Sometimes it takes about a month or two because of the systematic challenges. Okay. So better request for direct payment or the EFT method.
All right, Patko, we'll come back to that question. Yeah, okay, maybe let's do it quickly. Issues of people living in the rural areas or far-flung areas who cannot get access to bank accounts or banks for that matter. How can they be helped, Bona? In which system can they be helped in terms of accessing the funds?
Then they'll then have to rely to the system of the court. But what we can do is that whenever a period of more than 10 days passes and then you have proof that the money is not yet in, let them rather contact the court managers to then intervene agently. Because remember, you cannot nominate someone else's bank account number. The bank account must be the bank account of the applicant who's making the application.
Really?
Yes. You cannot nominate the next person. Remember, we don't want any another mess here. Because if I can receive money on behalf of Karabo, and then from there I go and then eat it, then where are you going to claim it again?
Okay, right. Okay.
So this is for protection purposes.
Mm-hmm. Sebastian is worried. He says, look, what if you provide for the family? Is it Sebastian? No, it's not Sebastian. I think it's still yeah.
Yes.
You provide for the family and you're living with them, but yet you are being
They've been hauled to court.
Yes, you've been dragged,
Yeah.
to court to pay maintenance.
Yeah.
But yet you're doing everything in the house. You're supporting the house. You're paying for everybody, buying groceries, etc., etc.
Firstly, it provokes this question that what is actually maintenance for the child? Maintenance is not money physically. It's not physical. Remember, I said when I was explaining that it is you're providing the means for the child to be able to get
yes.
this.
What if
living,
you're doing that?
Yes.
What if
you're doing that, and then person takes you to court?
Yeah.
You take the proof, those receipts, everything, and say to the court, but the child's needs are met. I don't know what this person is talking about. And if any person has experienced a problem where whilst they're busy doing that at home and they're still being hauled to the maintenance court, please contact me. Because then that then says we must then investigate, because there's something very, very wrong. It cannot be that you are prejudiced twice in respect of the same issue. Because of that is double jeopardy.
All right. Okay. And then Sebastian wants to know, when a guy has got custody and the ex-partner who's a lady is not employed, in that scenario, what do we do? And perhaps the guy said to the lady, look, you're going to have to jump in here. And obviously she does not play ball. So what then?
I love Sebastian's question, because this is also going to give information that is going to educate people. In a maintenance inquiry, there are 3 questions that you must ask. And those 3 questions must all be the answers thereto must all be in the affirmative. Number 1, you ask, is there an obligation to pay maintenance? Then, in this case, it's going to be a yes, because we're talking about the biological mother of the child. But the mother never gave the child away for adoption or any other thing. The only issue here is that the child is in the care of the father. But then that particular common law duty still exists. Now, you ask the first question, is there legal duty? Then the answer is yes, because the legal duty is given rise by blood, because the mother is related to the child by blood. Number 2, then you ask, is there a need? Yes, basically there's a need, because this person is a child. They are not self-supportive. They're not self-sufficient. Then the third question then you ask, are there means to satisfy this need. And then if the answer to that is no, kaput, then sorry.
All right. Well, when I issue the biological mother or father, it's a big issue. It's a big issue. And maybe let me touch on that before I take other questions quickly. If you're a biological father of a child, right, and it happens, life happens, people move on, people meet other people in the future, and it happens, the child that you pay maintenance for, all of a sudden they're in another family. In other words, the lady has gotten married to another person, and then now, and so you're told. Do you still have to pay maintenance in that regard, or what is the arrangement there?
The question now is: have you given that child for adoption? Have you consented to the child's?
Who has? Who has?
Nobody has.
No, Garahore. When you say have you given the child for which amount?
It's this parent who's not staying with the child.
Okay.
Have you said I'm giving my child for adoption? Because remember,
no, you have not.
Yes, because remember, it's only adoption that terminates the parental responsibility.
Okay,
rights.
but what if that process was done in your absence?
It cannot be.
You
You must always be notified. It cannot be. You must always be notified.
No, but what if you're not?
if you are not, approach the courts. Approach the court because that is your child. I've dealt.
I get about in this instance, you're not fighting necessarily for custody and one. Let's not get it. You know what I'm saying?
You're fighting for parental responsibilities and rights. Because remember, parental responsibilities are about you having contact with the child, you maintaining the child, you having a relationship with the child, and contributing towards the maintenance. You're fighting for those rights. You want to contribute because remember, the basis, the biggest basis of maintenance is that the child is entitled to support for their proper upbringing and living. For them to be properly raised, they're entitled to that substantial support that can be provided by anyone within that particular value chain. Now you're fighting to say, I want to contribute to my child. I want to be that father that wants to buy sweets for the child, and somebody else is now saying no, no because of they have allegedly adopted my child.
No,
yeah.
Well, they're not saying no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm saying, in that instance, okay, whose child is it?
That child remains your child. As long as you have not consented to him or her being adopted, that child remains your child.
Whether or not you were married or not.
Yes,
to the mother.
Yes, whether you were married or not, it is your child. Period. And if there's a need, and then the mother then wakes up and says, you must support the child, the mother must then say, there is a need. But remember, you remain liable. They can never be said that a parent of a child is not liable. The child is actually rich. They can never be. You must contribute towards your child's upbringing.
All right. 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446. My technical producer is cracking up on the other side. In fact, both of them are. I told you, every time we talk about this maintenance issue, man, give I a laughing stock, everybody in there. Hey, boy, this thing is close to my heart, you guys. All right, let's take a caller quickly. I think this is Figile from Kanyamazani. Figile?
Yebo.
Kunjani sisam?
Ngiyaphila.
Khuluma nami.
Yeah. Mina ngicanda ukubuta ukuthi ngwaphi mhlambe alungisa kanjani ama challenges sihlangabezana nawe ekutheni mhlambe sibavumelene nomntwana ukuthi leli viki leli utakumake leli viki litako uya kubabe sifike leso sikhathi umntwana angasatholakali kepha i-maintenance njalo iyakhishwa isolve kanjani i-question yami yokuqala.
Okay.
Yesibili i-question yami ngilokuthi ngiliphi iqhaza lelidlala nguhulumeni ekugcineni izivumelwano sekusapota abantwana ngoba uthole ukuthi make seuncenganile nababe sebayaya kurabisa leliqala ukuthi umntwana akasakhoni ukuthi nyalo singabe siyacolelana makwakhe asisakhoni ukuchubeka. Uhulumeni ngiliphi iqhaza lakalidlalako ekutheni agcine nasivumelana ukuthi vele i-maintenance ufakile then vele there's amount where niyacolelana onjani.
All right, thank you so much, Figile. We really appreciate it. Let's talk to Anonymous in Pretoria. Anonymous?
Hello?
Hi, Anonymous in Pretoria.
Yes.
Yes, you're on the air. What is your question or comment?
Hello?
Can I ask you to close your radio, please? Can you put your volume down in your radio set so you can hear me properly?
Okay.
All right, cool stuff. Yeah, what is your question or comment?
Okay.
Your call has been placed on hold.
Is that the question? My call. Oh. So is that message? No, sorry. Okay, 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. Let me take a Facebook question here, and this one is coming from Baran Furi. Thank you so much, Baran, for your question. He says, can a father increase his payment by 10% on his own every year? In fact, this would be, can a father or mother increase his payment by 10% on his own every year, or does he have to go through the court process?
I love this, Dad. Because I don't prefer court processes. However, in normal circumstances, the maintenance court orders will come with a particular clause to say, the amount is this, and then it will increase with this amount every year or at the anniversary of that particular court order. So that, yes, you can do without having to be hauled to court. Normally, people get into the court system simply because of the disputes. Yes, but you can do that on your own.
Right.
You don't have to get the magistrates strong arming you to do certain things.
All right. I think Figile touched on breach of agreement when it comes to visitation rights.
Yeah. When I looked at, I think both her questions are speaking to the same issue of saying, I'm not seeing my child, however, I'm expected to pay maintenance. Visitation and maintenance do not go hand in hand together. You cannot say I'm going to withhold maintenance because I'm not seeing the child.
Or vice versa.
Continue paying maintenance and then go to the children's court and then deal with the issues of contact with the child.
Or you cannot withhold the visitation.
Yes, because someone is not paying maintenance.
Right.
Yeah, because then you are turning the child into the zoo. Then now you're saying pay as you go or pay as you
see.
Exactly.
Or whatever service provider. 12 minutes before 7 o'clock. My technical producer has instructed me to stick to the topic, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Sorry, I get carried away when we talk about things like this. 0800 142 446. Let's talk about the issue of defaulting. Can one have a valid reason to say, I've defaulted because whatever circumstances they may bring to the table?
I do not even want to create that particular impression, because the minute you realize that you are unable to pay maintenance, rather contact the court and tell them, I was ordered to pay 500 rand, but I do not have because of I am unemployed, and provide proof that you are unemployed. Or say, I can only contribute 300 rand. Then there will be another system of saying, go and apply for the reduction of the maintenance amount. Do not sit and say, only when you are brought to court and then you start raising excuses. So for me, valid reason, it does not fly. Rather contact before they get to you.
Right, Akere, when we talk about maintenance really and everything around it, the concentration is being put more on money.
Yes.
And like you said earlier, and I agree with you with that, it's not necessarily money alone. And there's many things that go hand in hand, like, for instance, spiritual upbringing of the child.
Yes,
you see to it of that, emotional upbringing and so forth, for instance, right? So now, how do you default on those? Can one default on those aspects?
A lot of parents are defaulting, and for me, I find it to be an issue of contributory negligence between the both parents. There'll be one parent frustrating the other parent, and doing things such that the other parent decides, I'm just going to be an ATM dad, or I'm just going to be an ATM parent, just pay and then walk away because I can't stand this drag on.
Yeah.
I can't stand them.
Yeah.
And when they start defaulting like that, then the consequences may not be visible immediately, but they're going to be visible in the future.
But what do you do? What protection do you have? Who can help you in that regard? Because I can tell you right now, as much as Okilo Hawanale movement last year about men are trash and all of that stuff like that, we spoke about it a bit, but it's not everybody, it's not every man that's a dragon or some men want to do right, but it's difficult. Things are difficult for one to do the right thing. What about those people? Those people, where do they get help?
You know what, for me, it's more of a moral duty. It's like morality versus the law. Because the law does not say, it does not specifically direct one to say, you will be there for your child. And that is also dependent on the other parent who has the care of the child. It's difficult because these are actually family issues. They're actually matters of the heart more than anything. But then I will still say, rather have or execute a parenting plan, wherein the parenting plan is going to actually outline those particular aspects. And people must actually, know that, because I've fought with so many people who had said to me that mediation is more of a voluntary thing. You can't force people to do parenting plan and all that. But I'm saying, go and start the process at the children's court and force a person to come to the table for you to execute a parenting plan. We need a parenting plan because remember, we can no longer sit on the table and then talk about this child. Let's rather than get the court to then dictate for us if we can't as parents be mature enough to sit on the table and talk about the child, because it appears that we actually, the roles reverses. Our children now become the parents and then we become the children.
Mm-hmm. Right, here's a question coming from Kahiso on Twitter. Thank you so much. Kahiso was in touch with us at DOJCD_ZA. I beg your pardon. And Kahiso says, I'd love to know, because I'm back in court with maintenance areas exceeding 100,000 Rand, yet he walks free. Mind you, he had already had a criminal record and was found guilty back in December, but still continues not to pay. How is the court acting in the best interest of the child?
Remember, this is one issue that I touched on earlier on, to say many parents make the mistake of going the criminal route.
Yeah.
And in the criminal route, you are bound to lose. Yes, I'll have a criminal record. Yes, I'll be arrested. But
perfect example.
Am I going to get the money? This is what I touched on when I was saying there are legal remedies for maintenance defaulters. You can ask for attachment of the assets. You can ask for attachment of the salary. You can ask for attachment of the debt. But if you decide to go the criminal route, you'll only have yourself to blame. Perhaps maybe UCC acted out of anger and said Ngiyombo Pisa, because of that is the like the ordinary language that we know. Ngiyombo Pisa ngifuna ukumlaya, ngifuna ukuthi avalelwe. Yes, ovalelwe. Does he care now?
I want to ruin his life.
You see now. So the life is ruined, but who suffered at the most? It's that grass, which is the child.
Right. Okay. Let's go to no. My producers are watching me with a Babon, and they can see what Babon, I want to deviate, so they're making sure that I'm not going off the subject. I'm not going to. Lest I get fired. All right. Raylan from Klapspruit. Raylan.
Yes.
Good evening to you. Thank you so much for calling. What is your question or comment?
Oh, my question is, I've got two scenarios whereby I went to court and with the one child's father. They have quantums, they have like 4 taxis, and I had to get proof like that he gets paid a salary, and whereas the brother was the owner, and he lied about the income that the taxi drivers actually gives, So the lady said to me, I had to come up with proof, like some voice note or something, to prove for those guys to give more money. Second scenario is this other man, the other baby daddy, works in court, not in court, but like he's also working at the public sector, and he was given a letter to give to his work, and he refused to give the letter to the work. He told me stories that the HR department said that they're only going to file that document, whereas it's actually supposed to be a garnish order. So my thing is, why do we go to court and we get, because I've been up and down into court. It's years now that I'm going to court, but I don't just get the necessary help. And I'm a single parent of 2. I can't afford a lawyer. And, the process is just prolonging, and I'm so drained and tired of going up and down court. I gave up.
All right. Raylan, thank you so much for your call. We'll definitely attend to that. You want to take the last one? Not. Okay, not for now. All right.
I like these 2 scenarios because this is what is actually happening out there. She's saying that she was told to go and get proof that the father of the child is getting some income. People must know that in a maintenance process, there are actually 2 sub-processes. Every maintenance case begins with an application, and then you're going to appear before the maintenance officer. You are not yet before the court. You are in that process where the maintenance officer must gather all the relevant information before they can assist you in terms of getting towards getting the court order. So when they ask you for proof, remember, you are the only person who can provide that proof. That, these are the needs of the child and this person is getting the money. But then we're not saying that go out there and ask him that. You can just make that particular submission or allegation. And then the maintenance court will then have to unleash the maintenance investigators to go and verify that particular information. So it depends on at what level is she then saying this. But from what I could gather, she's not yet before the court.
All right.
Number 2, the issue of saying that there was a particular garnishee order issued and then it was given to the respondent in person. I don't believe that story. I am sorry. Because a garnishee order is a court order directing the employer to deduct, and it's part of the what to do when somebody is defaulting. It is a court order to the employer to say, employer, before you pay this person their wages, take out this money, pay to the maintenance beneficiary before you give them the salary. So it can never be given to the respondent. It can never be. And the reason why this is so, because of it gets sent to the employer by the maintenance officer, is that should something go wrong, then that order will be enforceable against the employer, because if it gets out with the names of the employer, not of this particular person. So that story I do not buy. The court will not make that particular mistake. And again, the issue of like processes being prolonged, people must and I always say this, that perhaps maybe we need to go out on an educational drive to go and teach people that although in the maintenance court certain things are not restated, to say in accordance with the law, there is what we call the audi artem partem rule. You must hear the other side of the story. We cannot just go like on a collusion course, start making orders and doing things quick without hearing the other side of the story. Other than then, if we do that, then we are going to find part cost situation where someone is doing everything in the house, but then they are alleged not to be maintaining the child.
Right.
So we have to go and do thorough investigation so that we can then protect the best interest of the child. So I think people must go out there to then go and and ask for this information and find out. But I'm still saying that if maintenance is being defaulted, there are available remedies. Those remedies are the law, and I've seen them being enforced. It's just that we do not ask. We prefer the criminal route, which always backfires to us as the maintenance applicant and to the children.
That thing doesn't work really, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know when to pop. All right. From Afikeng, we chatting to Susan Mulefe. Susan?
Hello.
Lega usag.
Okay.
Potso how ring.
Potso ya ka ke gore go na le dilo tse dintse re di bonang ko ka case ya maintenance. Ga the father a reka gore inna gore e ka re o reka magistrate. I had a case in le gore ne ke a tira ko court le ena e be nna gore ga ke ntsha di proof before re ya ko magistrate ne ke kopana le maintenance officer ba re I must assist them ka go investigate gore the father is working. And then which I did. When we went to the magistrate, ke ga ile gore ke indicate all these things that di bontshang gore the father is really working and he's really getting income. So ke ile gore the magistrate herself is a white lady mo Mafikeng magistrate court. I'm coming with allegations. So I don't know gore how ya go investigate o checka gore ntate wa bereka. Gape motho a batla go ntare I'm coming with allegations. What is that?
All right, let's cut it short. But let me ask you a question on what you just said now. Now, how about you coming with allegations? When you went and proved, did you go with something in hand? Did you prove with something written, or and verbally spoke to them and said, or did you have documents with you?
No, the problem is only the amount or the amount ya bukai. If an artist aya go opela go kai aska ba opela fela mahala. Ha ya go kai a iranga tshegela mo di-TV. He's getting paid. So by then I didn't have like the proof of the salary, but I had proof ya gore ona performa go kai a etsang. The other thing ke gore every time I have sendela ngwana message o moraro o tsantana le busy mo studio, and mo studio a ka ska bana mo studio as a creative ga release an album as an artist, he's getting money. Gona di royalties tse di kreyang, gona le di eng tse di kreyang. So bogote nna ke tla ka di allegations.
But you see okay, I'm not even all right. Okay, no, Susan, I hear you very well. We'll go back to it. We'll answer those questions quickly. All right. Eriketse Rabokale from Leboa Khomu. Rabokale.
Hello, le guys.
Rtele ga mewaka.
Re gona.
Oh rona. Oh no, ke gopala tshwarelo re gona e.
Ke ga Leboa Khomu a ke.
Ya wa ke ga e gona. Re tshwanetse re bolele sepedisa nnete ka.
Aha.
Puchalna re.
Ke be ke gopela go botsisha gore na ke magato mafeng a ile gore re ka tšea ka lebaka la gore o khotsa gore papa go ngwana most of the time he pays 700 rand, and then from 700 he brings 500, from 500 he brings 300, from 300 150. What must we do? Because most of the time when you call the father of the child
Don't worry, I'll fix it. And then they convince us or risk back to court, magistrate, because they will bring back the money or but at least a double. So ke be ke nyaka go tsona re ka dira eng go shetse go le ka ena mkhono tšhelete ya bana instead of yo tsere yona e a fokotsa all the time.
Re fokotsa bjale I right again. Okay, rta araba putshwane da rabukale ke la boga kere. 0800 142 446. We've got about 9 minutes to go. I'm being told to take one more quickly. Leona Nambiti. Leona from Nambiti.
Hayi kunjani baba?
Ngiyaphila kunjani sesami?
Ngiyaphila nginombuzo.
Masuza umbuzo wakho.
Ngicela ukubuza because ngike ngafaka ubaba ontombazana yami like i-maintenance ne?
Aha.
So ngicela ukubuza mina because ngike like sike sabizwa akazange appear ecourt.
Okay.
So ngine problem A1 yokuthi nangifika ecourt like ubaba omntwana like nangibuza mina nangifika lapha yana ngabuza ukuthi like ngabuza bangicela ukuthi like ubaba omntwana abamtholi and i-address yakasebenza khona like ngabanikeza so angazi ukuthi mina inkinga eso like ngiyenza kanjani ngoba mina ngathi nangibuza futhi back then bangicela ukuthi mina ngihambe ngiyovunela yena.
Okay. All right. Sizobona ke Sis Leona. We'll definitely tackle it. Thank you so much. 0800 142 446. Let's start with Suzanne. Suzanne says issues of bribing the magistrate, proof that the father's working, serious allegations.
You need to be careful of allegations, eh?
Why are you using the same word that the magistrate has used?
Yeah, because now we're saying that there's an allegation that the magistrate is being bribed. That is a very serious allegation. You can open yourself to defamation. Yeah, so and then says Susan, I'm afraid I'm going to have to concur the magistrate. I can every maintenance case itomaka application where the maintenance officer will gather every documentary information, proof and everything. It remains an allegation for as long as it is not substantiated.
In writing or otherwise.
Let's talk.
No. If I example
okay. Josephine wa opela.
Yeah.
Then Josephine, okay. For example, one. I used to be a model. Josephine wa model. I used to do those modeling things voluntarily. I am supporting young and upcoming fashion designers. Paskam pattern the model I feel artist so I say like so then how you come to floor no wow pela uko studio uko kai therefore is making 20,000.
Okay.
As a when feeling two way it remains an allegation. An allegation kinto loring ga support selo uno ibulela ka molo.
Right. And that's what the problem was in this case.
Exactly.
Because when you went there or offer proof and then gave proof proof we feeling in what form was it? Was it documents or was it verbal? And it sounded like it was a verbal thing that she said. Unfortunately, Susanna, that's what the problem is. If you want to prove these type of things, it's better also a documentation it's official.
Yeah. And again, Susan, because I cannot or Susan as a like papa wa tella nna ke re bulela case batswadi ba gage ba support ngwana ke re ana yona nna ke nyaka ngwana a ye kwa malekeleke bulela batswadi ba gage case o re papa ngwana ana the reasonable means then o tla bona o tlo ntšha ditaba o tlo tla mo wena o tla ntšha statement tšeo le tšhelete tšeo
nna ke na go feisty on the TV only and the on radio you don't.
I can look at
all right, Rabukale says, what action is to be taken? Father pays 700 rand. The next thing, father drinks 500 rand, drinks 1,500 rand.
Lerato la re bolaisha mo o bolaisha ke lerato ka bana a ke re ke mokula bolela ara ke re bana tla mo rena ba ra ka wa re ka bua o bolaisha ke lerato se se Rabukale nna ke re motho o as it is ha comply fully with the court order wena tsamaya futlo ena ke nyaka ganishi order so that o tjoko ditabeng tsamono tja ganishi order se se Rabukale a bona yong.
Leona says Father does not appear in court when they're being, and then what I've actually picked up with what Leona is saying about the father not appearing in court when they need to appear in court. She added that it's because he cannot be located.
Yes.
They cannot trace him, where he works, where he lives. What can she do?
Now, as one I always say, the maintenance system can only work when we collaborate. Cecilia, I saw go kote ba mo ko ba mo ena ba tsa mo kenya kala ena. Re no ba re nyaka thusho. Nna ke Cecilia na check out na ba ga bo ke market of maybe wa ba tseba batho ba ga anya ke shishe motho. And then re ka nnete na le botlhatsi ba gore ke a tseba motho la o bereka go Department of Justice. Gopela yona directive yo we o re ke gopela le mpheneng wa lo ke maphodiseng ba mphele search go mo fa directive. Yes.
Okay.
Then ba tlo mo thusha maphodiseng.
All right.
A gopele then IT le ka boyana ka ma ke nna go ba re o romeletsa o senya ditaba.
Yeah, true. All right, 0800 142 446. Have you got another one? I'm checking with Linda Mazibu. Linda says, hold on to me. He's going to check there. We're talking about defaulting of maintenance. And if you want to maybe just say a word or two, you're more than welcome to do that. We've got about 3 minutes to go. And maybe you could be the last caller. Who knows? 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446. Here's a question. Khaurel. Oh, by the way. All right. Now here's an issue. When the maintenance order is out, the application was done by the mother. All right, the father is there. Everything is in agreement. Everything is hunky-dory. Life goes on. Who does the father report to? Could it be extended families? In the sense of maybe when the maintenance order was done, the child was living with the mother. Now the child's not living with the mother. Is living with maybe the aunt somewhere. Who does the father report to in that instance where the child's no longer living with the mother?
Straight to the court. Oska ba wa ribilo nyoko isolva ka sa ga ka ba ka kire maungwana tla ba ile court a re yena ke yena caregiver ya ngwana and then asa nna le ngwana, so she's not entitled to even receive those money sentse di receive ke motho a tlhokometse ngwana ke ntebe ke botsa ke re
but you can't. I agree with you, but listen to what I'm saying. You can't because the order does not say that yet. Akire, Josephine took me to court.
Yes.
Okay, and then the order was out.
Yes.
But I need to basically I sort of report to you, report in inverted commas. It means I interact with you as far as the child is concerned. I need to speak directly to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Now the child does not live with you anymore. They live with your aunt somewhere. Right? So now in that instance, who do I report to? Karungana, you're no longer the caregiver. They don't live with you.
Yes.
But remember, you're no longer the caregiver, but the maintenance order was out in your
name.
Exactly.
Still say, go and amend that maintenance order. Amend it so that it reflected the caregiver and then start communicating with the caregiver.
Who must amend it?
Yena papa wana. Akiri na anan le matata. I have to court taking order. Ibe bolela so. Ke amend that to this effect because motho a sa lego. Then uto bitso yena mme then atla butshore ao. If ke nnete na a o sa nna le ngwana na.
No, ke nnete a sa nna le ngwana.
And then from there namile wa tlo namile a o sa le yena atlo tjantšhelete.
You see the problem with that, it's a problem that you and I are worried about. Ho tlo safara ngwana.
Exactly.
Because I should not be giving the person who's not living with the child the funds. I should be giving
to the
those
person who's
people
raising the child.
But now it will be a problem because the actual order does not say that yet.
Yes, if it does not say yet, hence I'm saying amend first before you start giving to the caregiver. Go and amend it first. Because I've seen situations where mothers will go and collect the money, ayudra weave. I've dealt with such kind of complaints where a person will say, I'd rather give to the aunt. And I said, but you can't give to the auntie because the court order is
does not say
this person. Yes. And if this person, if they wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going, because there is one person who actually, who was given a court order of 1,000 rand per month for a child. And then he's maintaining the child at 4,000. Ne?
Okay.
Buying food, buying clothes, buying everything. Then the mother goes to court and said, but he's not depositing the 1,000 rand. Is that person in default of the court order? Yes, he is. Because the court order said you shall pay 1,000 rand into the mother's account. Yes.
Wow, let's get you and show your fair
you shall pay 1,000 rand into the and or nanganaka. Every day. Sorry.
Muto in contempt of court, really?
Yes, he is.
Are you serious?
Yes. For as long as the court order says karabo and then you go and do something else, it is in contempt of you.
I want to in court.
No.
Can't I go to court and
No,
say, in
no,
good faith,
no.
I did not pay the 1,000
That will
rand, I
be a
paid 2.
mitigation. That will be a mitigation factor. You'll be
Oh, it will-
mitigating
okay.
sorry.
Yeah,
Mara,
that
it
can
doesn't
be there in good
exonerate
faith.
you from that. Yes, amend or ngwana o nna le Josephine ke nyaka gore go be Josephine mme le ba change mola ba recipient it la ba Josephine as the caregiver, and then start giving. Mara go ka leka wa yo fa ka mola o la tsamaya aya go court o mathateng a magolo. Ke na le complaint jalo motho o ke bolelang ka ena about 100,000 was attached from his bank account because of defaulting ka 1,000 rand. Because mme o la ena a tla tswela tlhapa matsogo a re nna a support bana.
Aba supportile.
O tlile ka di receipt tša di kaka le tša di e-wallet le tša eng gore na o patela dikolo fees di everything di tla mo thusa go kae.
And then didn't they mitigate?
Ke busy kana
Oh, busy ka yona case.
I'm trying to mitigate or at least are thushe motho in good faith yana gore ngwana ka 1,000 rand nna ka mara I'm just only going to mitigate mara in contempt of court order.
What a way to close the show, let me tell you that. 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. Well, thank you so much for being part of the show this evening. I'd like to apologize to those who tried to call in and could not reach it. The lines were buzzing like nobody's business. It always is the case with this type of topic that we're dealing with this evening. So thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. It's my guest this evening, a very good friend of mine actually, and she's on TV now. She's secured herself a slot on TV by Bitor Pain Maintenance. Can I just as a disclaimer, that guy don't pay maintenance, that one. It's not me. It's not. You know how many calls I've received. But you run away. You know why? Because you were there. Because you were part of the show. Yeah. So you mudisan. So it's not me. Well, thank you so much for the team, to the team rather, for the wonderful work they've done this evening. Simone and I do thank you so much for the job well done on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you so much to Linda Masibugo. Linda has been cracking for the last hour. Even now, he's on his knees laughing at me. I don't know what's funny about me when I do the maintenance show. It's very dear to my heart. And do your own maths, really. All right? And thank you so much to the guy that's making sure that the visuals of this is loaded on YouTube and doing an absolutely amazing job of it. And this is Levi Mudiba coming from our video department. Really appreciate it. And well, let me just say bye rather first to Josephine Peta. Right? When are we meeting again? Sort of age.
Hey, no,
we've decided horror maintenance is not one topic that we'll do away with.
That is why today in the stick to default, but you cannot stick to default without explaining the process.
Absolutely.
Default I fulfill mutlari.
Default I fulfill. I had to touch other issues. Thank you so much, Josephine. Really appreciate it. From myself, Store Runner Saba Peli Matabele Karabalans, really thank you so much. Until we meet again next time. Ciao for now.